All right, folks, it is time for our Russell Westbrook Q&A. Everyone's asking about it. Everyone's talking about him because everyone wants to know what happens there. So this little Q&A dedicated only to Russell Westbrook. So make sure you use hashtag Russ to get it up here on screen. Makes it a lot easier for producer Harrison to find all these comments that are flowing in. Use hashtag Russ. First up from Antonio, Russ and Korver on the Golden State Warriors. Do you want to handle it?
Russell Westbrook in Golden State would be a nightmare. A nightmare.
Like, you literally would have to make Curry into a spot-up shooter.
And D'Angelo Russell just becomes the most irrelevant player in the NBA.
The small three-guard lineup.
That would be so miserably bad. Now, Korver, sure, maybe, but Korver's not going to Golden State. I can't even imagine that'd be bad.
All right, Trevhawk Hawktrev, what do you think the Rockets need to do to get Russ? And do you like Zaza tacos and Zaza milk?
What in the world is going on on this show?
I love you guys. Never change.
You threw together a Rockets trade. Hit him with it.
Yeah, they're pretty close here. You have to do Clint if you're keeping Chris Paul, because I don't think the Thunder want that contract.
Nope.
So I assume they're not going to take any deal involving Chris Paul unless it's maybe if you throw in like 8 first-round picks, which doesn't really make sense, I think, in the end for the Rockets. It's Capella, Gordon, and then salary cap filler here in terms of Isaiah Hartenstein and like a Gary Clark. That makes it work there, plus I assume maybe a draft pick as well. All right, Mandrick Brown, better career, Russ or CP3?
Ooh, that's a good question because, I mean, Russ still has a little bit of ways to go. He still has stuff to do.
I think I'm going to go with Russ.
I think I'm going to go Russ also.
He won an MVP.
He's been to an NBA Finals.
Yeah.
Like, Russ has never done that. Or Chris Paul has never done that. And Chris Paul, the triple-doubles. I mean, I'm getting it mixed up. Russell Westbrook, the triple-doubles, like, in the efficient years was incredible. I take Russ over Chris Paul, 9 times out of 10.
All right, Uwe back again says, will Rush average a triple-double again? He's done it back-to-back years. Or is there a gap?
Back-to-back. It was back-to-back years. I think it depends on where he ends up, but I think he will. I think it'll just be a little less points per game, and then pretty equal rebounds and assists, possibly.
All right, Isaiah Bob says, Russ to Toronto for Pascal Siakam.
Ooh, interesting, because this is coming from a Raptors fan, because the Raptors did not want to include Siakam in a deal for Russell Westbrook.
I'm checking the numbers here. Siakam's so cheap. You still have to include Kyle Lowry. The Thunder do that.
Yeah, I think
honestly, though, I think Toronto says no.
I think Toronto says no as well, but I think it could be interesting. Now, let's say they do get Russ, then what else do you have?
Yeah.
You don't have you have Marc Gasol and Serge Ibaka.
Yeah. All right, Will Fisher, any chance that the Pistons get Russ? I think they do make sense there. I think that's a good fit in terms of the Pistons and Tony Snell, Reggie Jackson. If they want to wait 2 months, maybe you could throw in, like, I don't know, Drummond to really make the money work right now. I think the Pistons could pull it off.
I think they could. I think Doumbouya is still unsigned, so if they wanted to throw him in and give them a nice young piece, you pair up 2 Oklahoma guys, Russ and Blake Griffin, and then go Andre Drummond in the middle. That's a competitive team in the Eastern Conference.
All right, Dougie Jones, what if he just stays? We've never seen a full season of just Russ.
Haven't we, though? Like, when Oladipo was there, it was basically just Russ. Like, Oladipo was not the Oladipo he is this season. It didn't work out that well. If he stays, then it's just awkward. Like, then it's like, okay, you kind of wanted out, but you didn't really push yourself out, and we kind of wanted to trade you, but we couldn't find anything good. So is it really worth it at that point? I don't think either side wants him to stay.
Yeah, I think it makes both sense. And Russ wants to go to a contender. That's not going to be
Oklahoma City. No, it's not.
All right, Prestonpopplays Gaming. Russ going to Miami to team up with Jimmy Butler. That seems to be the most likely outcome here.
It seems like it, but I feel like a dark horse team is going to kind of come out of the woodworks and get something going for Russell Westbrook. But I think it makes a lot of sense, and I think if he wants to go there, Oklahoma City is going to do everything they can to get him there.
All right, folks, make sure you are subscribed. Get us to 130K. We're at 126,563 right now. Those are still kind of on the rookie number, so let's up those numbers. Get us to 130K. Jimmy and I will do another awkward high five like we did when we hit 125. Oh, maybe we'll do. Oh, I know what we'll do. I got it. I got a plan. I won't tell you, but I got a plan. It does involve a high five.
I don't know if I agree to this.
Yes, you do. It's fine. It's not bad. You're fine. Don't worry about it. So use hashtag Russ to get your questions on the show about Russell Westbrook. That makes it a lot easier for producer Harrison to find them. Use hashtag Russ. Get him up here on the show. Tyrone says Russ should go to the Heat or the Knicks. I think it makes some sense.
Yeah, but the Knicks would have to wait until December to actually pull off a trade for him. So I don't think it's the Knicks. I think the Knicks are kicking themselves right now after giving all those big contracts away. Now that Russell Westbrook's available, I think they would have held out and tried to wait to acquire him somehow. But I think the Heat are more likely.
I like this next one. Xavier, or is it Xavier? I always say Xavier. Says, Jimmy, do you want Russ on the Mavs? Yes, he does. He absolutely does. I promise you. Don't listen to anything else he says. He wants Russ on Dallas.
Let me say this. No, I do not want Russell Westbrook on the Mavs. However, if the Mavs somehow pulled off a trade for Russell Westbrook, I would be pretty ecstatic about it. I mean, let's be realistic. I would
flip and go homer.
I'd be excited about it, but I don't want them to do it. I don't want them to do it. Does that make sense? You know what I mean, right?
Yeah, you're just a blind homer is what you're saying. No, I know what you mean. You mean like Russell Westbrook is a fun player to watch.
Exactly.
You would enjoy that. You just don't think it's a good team fit, right?
Exactly.
Now. All right, Connor Neat. Who is a good match with Russ? I still think the Heat are the best fit.
Yeah, team-wise. I wonder if he means player-wise. Like, who would make a lot of sense to team up next to him? That's tough.
I kind of think Butler's actually is a good fit for him.
I think he's a good fit.
I mean, look, we've seen the two best fits, Durant and Paul George.
I mean, you can't get much better than Paul George as a fit.
Yeah.
Like, Kevin Durant was also really great for him, obviously. Kawhi Leonard would be a great fit alongside Russell Westbrook. They're like the most opposite players when it comes to, how they act.
All right, Robert DeLeon says, do you think Russ is a cancer and will ruin or maybe run a team down?
I don't think he's a cancer. I think everybody that plays with Russ loves Russ, like as a person, and he's not like a cancer in the locker room. I do think he hurts a lot of people's like overall careers, like in how they're kind of developing alongside him. So he's like a cancer, sort of, on the court, but not off the court. People like Russell Westbrook, so I won't call him a cancer.
All right, next up from Isaiah Bob. Who has a better attitude, Chris or Russ?
I really don't like Chris Paul. So I'm going to say Russell Westbrook because I appreciate the fact – I don't like Russell Westbrook that much either, but I appreciate the fact that he's 100% competitive and like he would run through a brick wall for whatever team he's playing for. And Chris Paul just kind of seems like a D-bag on the court. I don't like him.
All right, Carl Lohman says Russ to the Cavs. They could have a 3 starting point guard lineup.
If he's going to go to the Cavs, this is actually a team that I mentioned early on as a dark horse.
Go ahead and finish your thought.
You have to trade Colin Sexton at least, or I don't think they'd trade Garland. I think they'd trade Sexton. You go Sexton, Cedi Osman, and like J.R. Smith, and I think the money works then. And you go Russ and Garland. What?
Here's why this doesn't happen, because Russ says no.
The
Thunder will not trade Russ to a place he doesn't want to be.
But what if he's like, wait, I like Kevin Love enough that I want to go back and team up with him because they played together in UCLA?
Touche. Okay.
There's a chance.
Okay.
I'm playing devil's advocate here, though.
Okay. All right, Laurent Cadet says, Russ trade package and Adams to the Raptors for their last year contract player. So, like, that basically becomes a swap of Kyle Lowry and Marc Gasol. Which, I think for the Oklahoma City Thunder, why exactly?
Yeah, I'd say no. The Thunder say no in this case, even though we said the Raptors said no if they include Siakam.
Yep. All right, Chris Sports Talk. If Russ goes to Miami, are they championship contenders?
I don't think so. I mean, I think they're top of the East, pretty close.
Which doesn't that by definition make them a championship contender?
Well, I wouldn't put them number 1 in the East.
Would you put them top 4?
Yes. Does that make them championship contender?
Isn't a top half seed in a conference championship contender, even if it is the downish East?
I think they are.
Yeah. See.
No, I'm going to say no.
I'll lean towards maybe at least there.
Okay.
All right, Ryan. Do the Pistons have a better chance to land Russ than the Heat?
I don't think so. I think the trade package the Heat could put together, and then the third team they could get involved with, and dump off some salary there, makes the Heat a better chance, a better fit there for Russ. I think the Pistons actually would be a really good fit, though, overall.
I think the Pistons have a chance, but in the end, I do think the Heat have the most likely chance. I guess
Agreed.
The plurality chance there makes the most sense.
And does Russ want to go to Detroit?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Maybe. All right, Mozart watching. I don't know how you're alive, but thank you. Russ to the Knicks.
Nope. I don't see it.
They have to wait till December. That's a big hurdle there.
Huge. And I don't think either side, Russ or the Thunder, want to wait until December to ship him off because it's getting awkward now.
Matthew Holmes says, #Russ, what if Love goes to the Thunder?
In a Cleveland deal? Well, then Russ definitely doesn't want to go to Cleveland.
Well, I think this means that if Russ stays and Oklahoma City gets Kevin Love too.
Oh.
You could ship out Gallinari.
You ship out Gallo and Adam? Well, that's a lot of
You'd
money.
probably keep Adams. Let me run through the trade package here.
I still don't think it works because what does Russ and Kevin Love get you in the Western Conference?
Maybe
Fighting for an 8 seed.
Maybe an 8 seed.
And you got to ship out other pieces too. So
God, Gallinari, you can trade. That gets you really close there. You can throw in
And is Kevin Love really a big upgrade over Gallo? Gallo's
Yeah.
a really good player, so
it's an interesting idea. I don't know if it makes the most sense.
not
though,
very
in the end.
plausible.
All right, Caven Barry, Russ should stay and they should trade Steven Adams.
Well, that's not the problem at all.
That saves them money, but that's kind of the point, right? That that doesn't help the Thunder. That makes them worse.
Russ is entering the end of his prime. He wants to win right now, I guess back half of his prime is what I should say. I think he's still got a couple more good years in him.
Yep. All right, folks, again, use #Russ to get your questions about him on the show. We're doing our Russell Westbrook only live Q&A here. So use the #Russ. That makes it way easier for producer Harrison to actually find them here. So again, #Russ. Isaiah Bob, is he going to choke in the playoffs again or prove himself? I'll let you take this one.
I think he chokes. I don't think he chokes. I think he's not a great playoff player. It's just natural. He's got to have someone better alongside him. That's why Paul George was great. That's why Kevin Durant was great. And then you ask, is Jimmy Butler really that big of an upgrade? In the playoffs, Jimmy Butler steps up big. So maybe you ask Russ to do less. I don't know. I don't think Russ is worth it in the playoffs.
Thunder and Grizzlies has a question about the Spurs. Says Russ to San Antonio.
Oh, Lord. That would be interesting. What do you give up? You give up DeJounte Murray, Lonnie Walker, and then a big contract like DeMar DeRozan maybe?
I think you pretty much have to include DeMar in any deal.
And then, again, did the Thunder want that?
I don't know.
Well, I guess what does he have, 1 year left?
He has a player option this upcoming season, I think. So DeMar, and I think you might have to include Patty Mills too, just to make the money come that. It's almost exact, but that's kind of expensive. And the Spurs have so many young guards already.
Yeah,
that's the route that they want to go.
And then if you trade DeMar, it's okay, it's Russ and LaMarcus Aldridge. Again, where does that get you in the Western Conference?
7 or 8 seed.
Yeah.
Maybe a 6. Maybe a 6.
If they both are hitting, then yeah.
Probably makes it more likely you get the 8 seed in the end. All right, William A. Hooper, if Russ goes to the Mavs, do they win a title?
Go, Posh.
That's a
to the Mavs. Do they win a title? No. I don't think so. I mean, a lot of things would have to go right, and with Russ, there's too many question marks.
All right, Christoph Schmidt says, what happens with Schroeder and Adams, a possible trade package with Russ? That's tough.
So much money.
It's a lot of money.
Maybe in a 3-team deal and one of those other two gets sent off.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see, because, look, Schroeder, Adams, Roberson, and Gallo. I mean, that's 4 big contracts. Do they want it? And apparently they want to keep Gallinari. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what their plan is going forward despite looking for trades for Russell Westbrook.
All right, Chungus is alt account. Big Chungus here. Says Russ to the Bucks or the Wizards. Start with the Wizards one first.
No, Wizards hard no. Bucks would be a lot of fun. I don't know how they get it done. But man, the Bucks would be fun.
The money is really tight because you can't deal Middleton right now. You can't deal Lopez until you get to the December time frame. If you throw in Eric Bledsoe, Ersan Ilyasova, and DJ Wilson, you still got to cut out $6 million.
And then it's why do the Thunder
tough.
want to do it? There's so limited amount of teams that can actually pull this off. Yeah. The Bucks would be great for Russ, and I think it'd be a lot of fun to watch for the NBA. I don't think it's good for the Thunder. And if the Bucks have picks to trade, they're not gonna be worth much.
Well, back to the Wizards here. 7 Adam P says Bradley Beal goes to the Oklahoma City Thunder. That'd be a great fit. But do the Thunder want to give up picks right now?
I mean, they have a lot, but I don't think they want to give them up. So if Russ stays, that's going to be something they look into.
You throw in Schroeder and Roberson. That works out from a money perspective, and then if you give up picks too, okay.
Possible, but I don't think Russ
stays.
stays.
If you threw in SGA in that deal,
and
you stick with Russ, I don't think that's the route the Thunder want to go.
No, me neither.
But I think that could work if they were still committed to winning this year, which I don't think that's their plan there. Team Johnson 100. Russ is stuck. Nobody wants that dumb guy ego.
Oh, wow. Harsh there. But I'm not going to call him a dumb guy. But he does have an ego. And it only shows out against
most NBA players do.
Yeah, it's just reality.
Yep. All right, Matthew Holmes says Westbrook and Zion would be fun to watch. Yes, it would.
Sure would. Okay, so let's think about the Pelicans.
You want to do a trade package here? Okay.
Jackson Hayes. I think it has to start with Jackson Hayes. Jackson Hayes, maybe Alexander Walker.
I think you have to include Drew Holiday to start, from just from a salary cap perspective.
Okay. Drew Holiday, Jackson Hayes, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and
I think that definitely gets it done from the Thunder's perspective.
I think so too.
I don't know if the Pelicans do that though.
See,
because then also, what do you do with? Maybe you have to bring in a third team and find a taker for Lonzo.
Oh, I forgot Lonzo even existed.
You ship out Lonzo somewhere else. You bring in Russ. You keep Redick. You keep Favors. Could work.
Man, that would be fun.
It's convoluted, but it's fun.
But Russ and Zion together, oh my gosh.
Yeah. All right, Piggy, if the Knicks get Russ, is it just because they are desperate for stars?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Kinda,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yes.
Yeah. All right, next up here from David Urbanski, Russ going to the Sixers.
I think this is actually RDA ambition for the 76ers. He's telling us that. This isn't a question.
Oh.
This is straight up just telling us. Now that would suck. Ben Simmons and Russell Westbrook on the same team would be so bad.
No spacing.
That would be horribly bad. Now, if Ben Simmons goes to the Thunder, well, then you have Ben Simmons and SGA. God, that'd be terrible.
Weird. All right, Christoph Schmidt. I like Griffin, Drummond, and Russ together. The problem is just it's in Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit's not a good city. That's just the truth.
All right, Caven Barry, Russ, and Adams get dealt to the Pelicans for Drew Holiday. That doesn't work out close from a money perspective.
No, that's so much money going to New Orleans. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
If you get rid of Adams, you still have to include more money going back to the Thunder for it to work out. I don't even know why Producer Harrison's doing this one. I am Russ to China. He's better than that. All right, Chris Jones, Russ to the Bulls. We thought about this one. The biggest problem is they just drafted a guy who can play off ball. Otto Porter or Zach LaVine, you have to throw in Cristiano Felicio. And then what's your actual asset, your major building block asset? Is it LaVine or Porter? I'm not sure.
Now, what if they include one of their first-round picks or a couple? Then maybe things get interesting, but I don't think so.
All right, Poop Dealer Slinging here says Russ to the Timberwolves and Cat gets out of Minnesota. Why would Minnesota do that, though?
Karl-Anthony Towns is infinitely better than Russell Westbrook is right now, and he has way more potential than Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, so Minnesota would never do that deal. There's no way. All right, Sports Geek, should the Heat make a Russ trade today, or should they wait a little bit?
I mean, I hope it happens today, just for the sake of it happening as soon as possible, because free agency is getting boring. But I think it might be in their favor to wait.
There's no major rush, I don't think.
Yeah, I think I agree.
All right, next up from Zach Mudd, Russ to the Kings.
No. What for? Yeah. Well, actually, I guess.
Are you trading away De'Aaron Fox then? Don't you want to just kind of want to build with Fox? And then from a money perspective, you have to wait, and then you have to include some combination of Harrison Barnes, Dwayne Dedmon, Trevor Ariza, Corey Joseph, 3 of those guys.
Can they even do it?
Those contracts aren't appealing.
No, it doesn't get it done.
So I don't think the Kings make in the end a lot of sense for Russ because the money and timing doesn't make sense.